As we continue our video sit-downs with the candidates, Lisa Frazier is on camera, Diedrich Allen off camera. Lisa is the Mason County Treasurer, excuse me. I was going to think differently there. But she's the treasurer running for re-election, running unopposed. Just thought I'd bring her in and take a couple minutes to tell everybody about you and yourself, your background, and why you're seeking re-election.
Well, thank you for having me. Seeking re-election because I have things that are unfinished. I've been in the treasurer's office for 34 years, and the last 14 of those as treasurer. I'm happily married and have 2 beautiful children, and we have made our lives here in Mason County. And it's my honor to serve the public. I just never in my wildest dreams thought this is what I'd be doing as my career, but I really do enjoy it, and I'm glad to continue on doing it.
So why don't you take a few minutes to explain what your office does?
So the primary responsibilities of the Treasurer's Office are the billing and collection of real and personal property taxes. We do foreclosure against delinquent property taxes and the collection of delinquent personal property taxes. We also collect and report revenues that come in from all of the different taxing districts for which I am the treasurer for. So I am not only a treasurer for the county, but for the school districts, the fire districts, the ports, the PD1, and other smaller venues, water districts, so forth. So all of those funds come into the treasurer's office. We act as the bank. Those funds come in, we receipt them, we report on them to the districts and to the state. We also collect the state funds, send them off as well. And so basically we act as the fiduciary part of the county government.
So while in office, what improvements have been made to better serve the county?
So I've been fortunate to see a lot of technical changes come through the treasurer's office in my last 14 years, but in this last 4 years, a lot. We transitioned to a new tax and assessment system called TerraScan. We now have property tax information online through that system. Our billing and collection processes are more streamlined. We use the software program in conjunction with the assessor's office. I'm currently transitioning to a new financial system for the county. We work with that primarily with the auditor's office, so I kind of sit in between 2 other elected officials in my capacity. We kind of work, 3 of us work together, but I work specifically property tax-wise with the assessor and financially with the auditor. Our new software, Munis, is very challenging at this point. We just went live in January. And so while it will streamline some things, it is making some processes a little more difficult for us right now. Other things have been legislative changes, the economy downturn and how that has affected county revenues and how we budget and so forth. So those things have, been there as well.
So what limitations are in your office?
So limitations, we all have limitations, but mostly staffing. We're currently closed to the public at lunchtime. In 2009, we lost 2 staff members. They have not been replaced. So we are not serving the public to the best of our abilities with the staffing and the budget levels that we have. Being in the revenue and the financial side of the government, I understand what our constraints are, and I have endeavored to work with the commission and my fellow elected officials to make the most of the county government and the resources we have. Are there things we could do? Absolutely. I just need a little more staff and a little more money.
That kind of leads into the next question, what needs improvement?
So with the transition to these new systems, what we do in my office functionally has changed considerably. I would love to find the time to reorganize my staff into positions that make more sense for what we're currently doing. So a cashier, for instance, is a cashier, but the back office that we called cashiers are really now financial people, accounting people. They're doing other things besides cashiering. They're not just receiving property tax payments anymore. That's more streamlined. We've taken on other duties associated with the financial system. Those haven't been addressed in several years, partly due to budget constraints and partly because it's evolving. And so I think we're almost to the point where that evolution needs to be completed and take place. So I'm looking forward in my next 4 years as treasurer to complete that process.
Is there anything new on the horizon that will impact how you operate your office?
Every year when the legislature meets at the state, I wonder how that's going to impact the treasurer's office. We are an arm of the state treasurer and the Department of Revenue. And so all of those things that come before our state legislature will have some impact on what my office does. What we're currently seeing in the legislature is more and more legislation that would allow taxpayers to make their property taxes more often. So either a 12-month, make them monthly or make them quarterly or allow them payment plans, which would have a severe impact on my office because then I'm processing 50,000 statements a month instead of twice a year. So those things we're watching for. The loss of revenue to the counties always has an impact on what we do. And not just the treasurer's office, but because that's where it comes in and it's my fiduciary duty to report all of those, that's where we see it first and then report it out. So those are things that I see that may impact my office more as, legislative issues that come down to the counties, unfunded mandates.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you, Lisa, for
You're
taking
welcome.
some time. Lisa Frazier, Mason County Treasurer, seeking re-election, running unopposed.
Thank you.
Thank you.